You're listening to the City World Radio Network, high-definition digital radio broadcasting from the city to the world. www.cityworldradio.com.
Gentlemen, how you doing? It's Artie, the cigar guy here, and here we are. Finally got my own show, Smoke Signals, here on City World Radio, and I'm here with my man, I Post Alone. We're gonna talk cigars. We're gonna talk tobacco. We're gonna talk everything else here on City World Radio. So stay tuned. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and we're back. Thank you so much for joining us today here on Smoke Signals. So, I just want to introduce my guest today. I'm here speaking with I Post Alone. How you doing, my man?
What's up, Artie?
Hey,
thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on. This is actually our premiere episode, so he's doing me a big favor. Help me break in the 5 o'clock spot here on City World Radio. So, Post, listen, I'm going to ask you just a couple of questions just to ease into this episode, okay? Everybody who's listening right now, other than your fans who are from Instagram, you know, and YouTube and stuff, they all know about what I love. I talk about what I love all the time, so what we're going to do is we're going to try to talk a little bit about what you love, okay?
Let's do it.
All right, so here's my question. Question number one. Favorite cigar?
Bahike.
Oh, that's so cheap. Okay. All right. So,
that's easy.
Okay, that is easy. So I want to make it a little more difficult. Can you please tell me and tell the people really quickly why you like the Bahike so much?
I like it because it represents something that's hard to achieve. Just like when you work hard and you finally get what you want. Bahike is the same thing. You can't walk into any B&M or brick and mortar store, especially here in the States, and buy one. You can't walk in anywhere in the world and just pick up a cigar or pick up a Bahike and just smoke it.
So let's see how much you like Bahike. Do you know what the word Bahike means?
I have an idea.
So Cohiba, right, is actually the Taino word for tobacco.
Okay.
And Bahike is actually the priest or the chieftain that would conduct the ceremonies with tobaccos in the village. That was the Bahike.
Okay, I heard something like that.
Yeah. Now, I'm pretty sure you know this. I love the Bahikes too. What's funny is if you ask me that, I would tell you the same thing. But what exactly? So other than just because obviously the Bahike has an aura around it, right? Everybody knows about the Bahike. It's like in hushed tones, everyone wants one.
Yep.
Everybody loves them. I have a couple that I've been aging for like 5 years, and I don't dare touch them.
You
No. Well, let's talk about that a bit later. But how about as far as the flavor? What do you like about the Bahike as far as how it tastes?
So basically, Bahike, if you were to take, let's say, just any Cuban cigar, just let's say for example a Bolivar or even a Punch, just any regular production Cuban cigar, and you were to smoke it right now, it would be full of those flavors that you would only get from Cuban tobacco and Cuban soil. That I guess some people call it hay or barnyard aroma. But Bahike has those notes that you're looking for in a Cuban cigar, except toned down and like smooth. Like it's just a smooth feeling. And when you're smoking it, it's not harsh, but it's also not too mellow, and you're getting what you want. It's basically like sex. It's it's the closest you're gonna get.
I
with
guess
your clothes on.
I guess I'll have to agree. But you know what's interesting about the Bahike, and are you familiar with the medio tempo leaf?
A little bit. I'm not too familiar with the process of growing tobacco and fermenting and all
right,
that.
cool.
But
So
I
let me teach you. Let me teach you real quick about this, because this is really awesome. So the thing that makes the Bahike so amazing is that they have something called the super ligero or the medio tempo, which grows in about 1 out of every 7 plants. So it's the ligero is the top of the plant. It gets the most sunlight, ergo the most amount of oil production. So when you ferment
that's the strongest
yes,
part,
yes,
right?
that's what gives it the most flavor. And then sometimes there's an even higher level, the medio tempo. But again, like I said, it's only 1 out of 7 plants. So now you have that leaf, right? The rarity of it.
Yeah.
And on top of that, when you're talking about Cohiba plants, Cohiba is known to use maybe about half of their Cohiba tobacco.
Well, that's why they're
for,
Cohiba.
yeah, for the cigars. So you'll have to put that into perspective as well. If the medio tempo doesn't meet the extremely strict standards of the Cohiba tobacco, that's going to go towards some other cigar or some other process, not towards the Behiques. So that's what really, really, really makes them so amazing and so delicious.
In addition to it being delicious, I like that, let's say, for example, I get a Behique 1 or even a box, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I go to smoke it, I light it up. As I'm cutting it, there's a small possibility that this may be the last one I'm smoking.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like that feeling that goes along with. Don't get me wrong, it tastes great, but a lot of cigars taste great. Opus X tastes great. A lot, you can go into any cigar store, throw a dart, and you'll hit most likely a cigar that tastes good. But Behique, in addition to tasting great, you have a cigar that, this may be your last time smoking it, because as an American, especially with the embargo and everything, we may not get another one here. Or... even overseas, they may not get one because Habanos keep saying that this is the last. This is the last time we're releasing it.
That's true. You're absolutely right about that. They've threatened that a whole bunch of times, and they come out every what would you say? I think like every couple of years. Well, now it seems like every year, doesn't it? But I remember when I got them, I didn't see them for a couple of years. Like at least they were extremely rare, and then they came maybe from 2015 on.
So I was here in New York at a lounge, a cigar lounge, and we got into the conversation of Behique, and the gentleman who owned the cigar lounge, he said to me, enjoy it because that's it. They're done. They're discontinued. They're not making them anymore. So a couple of weeks after that, I went to Switzerland, and I'm in La Casa del Habano in Switzerland, and I meet the director for Habanos in there, and he says to me, yeah, next month we're gonna release a few more Behique, and I'm thinking, wait a second. They're not discontinued? He's like, no. This store, the one we were in, he's like, you're going to have a few boxes that you can buy here. I'm like, wow.
Because, okay, can I tell you, it would be like Disney canceling Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, they're smarter than that.
It makes no sense because,
that's their
Cohiba,
breadwinner.
Yeah. Cohiba, well, I mean, every Cohiba sells like fire, let's be honest. But the Behiques...
Everybody wants Behique.
Exactly. Here's the cool thing. So the first round of Behiques came out, I believe, in 2006, 100 boxes of 40. They were all rolled by one woman named Norma. And the funny thing is, those Behiques did not have the
medio tempo.
The medio tempo, but they were a unique 7-inch. I think it was 50. God,
is that the one with the old band where you have the
it.
dual bands, Cohiba,
yeah,
and then
exactly.
it has the second band that says Behique, and they had numbers on them back then.
Every single one was numbered.
I have never seen those in person. Only in pictures.
They're extremely hard to. It's almost
impossible,
like impossible. Yeah, exactly.
I wonder if anybody still has those. Can you imagine people holding on to those?
Well, I don't know if you saw. Did you see the post that I made? I made a post on Instagram that's Ashholes NYC. Ashhole. ASHHO.
Singular.
ASHHOLE.
There's only one Ashhole,
right? And I posted about these, and actually this one guy that apparently this guy knows
he knows stuff,
he's smoking his shit. And he's like, yeah, somebody offered me a box of 100 brand never opened for $240,000. I'm serious.
Okay.
Yeah,
$250,000 It might be real. There's that possibility.
Okay, so. There you go. We broke down the Behique.
Let's do it.
Everybody understands what's going on. So my next question is, well, I can't. I guess it's a kind of a loaded question. What is your least favorite cigar, or at least what brand don't you like? And I know that's a tough one.
I don't want to.
You don't want to disclose
hurt feelings.
That? Oh, I don't give a shit. So I'm gonna just say it. I'm not a fan of Rocky Patel. I think they're like Lil Wayne. They make a billion different cigars, and some of them taste good. Some no, you don't have to.
I'm okay with it. No, you know what? I actually
Gurkha,
I really dislike J.C. Newman.
Gurkha is extremely overhyped in my opinion.
I haven't had a Gurkha that I liked, unfortunately.
Well, so I'm sorry about I understand that we have to kind of play nice, but also we got to be honest with our listeners.
I think J.C. Newman. I think it's way overpriced for what they're offering. It's basically Dutch Masters with nice bands and in a nice leather box. Did you ever see the box? The box is beautiful, but the cigar, it's just a regular cigar. Don't get me wrong, it's not bad, But when you look at the price, you look at the cigar, you look at the box. The box is beautiful. The price is outrageous, and the cigar is just okay.
It's that's the thing. It's supposed to like catch your eye or something.
And it does.
But who gives a shit?
Once,
if it
and that's it. I'm not going back to it. I actually have a Gurkha His Majesty's Reserve. I haven't opened it yet. It's a $750 cigar.
Oh, that's ridiculous. So this one is a little hard to price. Check this out. Shoot. What my rarest Gurkha I would say is called the Gurkha Trump Presidente. All right, so they made 2016 of these bad boys for his inauguration, and they gave them out during his inaugural dinner. Now, here's the trick: they didn't give them all out. They had a couple left over. So what? Somehow,
of course, they got to sell it.
I forgot what website it was. Some really like. It's not one of the more popular ones. It's a bit more obscure website. It was my boy Brad that got this, not me. So, and they sold them for $20 a pop.
Okay.
On this website, like 100 of them or something, and he bought like 4 of them, and we traded for some Cubans.
Them.
Yeah, so now I have now I got my hands on 2 of them. So
what do you do?
How much does that shit cost? I don't know. I'm just gonna wait until either he gets impeached or reelected, and then I'm gonna sell it to like a really, really rich Republican.
Oh, you're gonna
guy.
make a killing.
Yeah.
You'll do well.
But again, they sell for like 15, but they sold for about $15. Here's the thing: are you familiar with Half Wheel?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, it's arguably the best, most well-known.
That's the source, yeah.
Yeah. So he did he had a series where he did like extremely rare opuses, extremely rare, and this Trump Presidente cigar was going to be on that list.
Okay.
But then once they sold a couple of them online, he had to take it off the list because now even if it was just like 100 sticks. He had to take it off the super rare list because people were able to get their hands on them.
Okay.
Even if it was for like 3 days or 4 days.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Half Wheel or Cigar Aficionado?
Ooh.
I mean, what's your source? Where do you get your cigar information?
Well, to be perfectly honest, I don't particularly read Half Wheel reviews at all.
No?
Just because but I don't really, I don't read reviews at all, period.
Okay, that's a good way to go.
Because
you make your own decision.
Exactly. I don't want to be like, because since I do reviews, I don't want to be like, feel like some people are putting
you don't want to be biased, and you don't want somebody planting seeds.
And also sometimes, like sometimes I have an issue because I'm like a little self-conscious that I repeat myself when it comes to cigars.
It's okay.
But some cigars
does.
Some cigars taste the same.
Everybody's going to tell you, oh, this cigar tastes oaky, or this one has cocoa or espresso. It's all the same.
But here's the thing. Half Wheel though, like sometimes I'm reading his reviews, and no disrespect, like I know that it's a very prestigious and they have their chops and all that, but sometimes it feels like he's having a stroke. Because it's like I taste oats and rubber and a little bit of methane vapors. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Are you okay, dude? Like read the Half Wheel review of the Pelo Oro it's like the $500 or $600 pure Oro. The Davidoff.
Oh, the Davidoff, yeah.
Pelo Oro, is that it? Or something?
Oro. Oh, man, it's on the tip of
my
tongue.
Like
it's a $500 a stick.
Yeah. And when he reviews it, it's like I don't even
know.
No,
Puro de Oro is the one with the gold band.
Yeah, Pelo Oro. Is that that's aging.
Puro de Oro is the one with the gold band.
Yeah.
And the Oro Blanco.
Oro
Blanco is the
white gold.
One.
Yes. What the fuck is going on? That review, it was. I was reading it and I'm like,
is it worth $500?
Well, he said. Well, the way that I see it is that. If you want to, so you have a $10 cigar. Let's say a good starting point is Padron 4000, whatever.
Shoot.
Okay, everybody likes that shit. Whatever, unless you're retarded. But so Padron 4000. Then you got a $20 cigar, like the 64. Okay. Is it 2 times better?
No.
Okay. Well, I would say it is. I like the 64 2 times better than the 1000. And but 1000 is a good cigar. 64
tastes very similar.
64 is one of my
favorites. It's just
favorites,
a little aged, I guess.
But then you got like, let's say the 26s, which are like let's say $30, and that's bullshit too, because you can get a $20 one. But let's say the yearly Padrones, right? Like the 40,
the anniversary
ones.
Yeah,
whatever. $40. Are they 2 times better than the 64?
Are they?
Hell no. Then you got let's say you got like the Hammer, the Padron 50. That's like
an
a
excellent
$75 cigar. But is that cigar 8 times better than a 4000? No. And
maybe.
But then you get to $500 a cigar, and then you have to ask yourself, is this fucking cigar really 50 times better than a Padron?
But there's a difference between setting a $100 bill on fire or setting $500 bills on fire. And if the Davidoff, well, you're very experienced with retail, right? So I mean, what do you got to do to sell a $500 cigar? One cigar. I can understand if the box is $500. That's one thing. One cigar.
So okay. That's cool that you asked me that. So let's say I'm in the humidor and we have this cigar. How would I sell it, right?
Yeah, what's
Number
your
one,
pitch?
I would not push it on everybody because that's a little
course,
obnoxious,
yeah.
right? Some guy that smokes $10, $12.
Yeah, you want the guy that's looking for opus.
So yeah, exactly. So a guy walks in, and I would be very like I wouldn't be like you got to check. I would be like, listen, are you in that mood today? Do you want to see do you want to see the cool shit or not?
How's
Just
your
tell
stocks
me.
do
Yeah,
today?
yeah. And if the guy's like, yeah, show me what you got, they know that I'm just trying to show them the goodies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I always try to be very non-threatening. I never try to push it like, yo, you got to try this. This is my $500, best $500 you ever spent. Because honestly, I haven't tried it. I obviously can't afford that shit. So I'm not going to tell the guy
I don't know. I don't have the courage or the heart to spend or even light $500 on fire. And honestly, I could look at it from the point of this would look nice in my humidor, but then again, it's going to take away from other sticks I could buy. I could get 5 Bahique for that price.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's kind of how it works, right? You got to take your favorite cigar
and multiply.
And then you got to see, okay, how many of these can I get
exactly,
for the price of this shit? Is it worth it?
Exactly.
That's why I brought up the 4,000 because that's a good baseline $10 cigar. I think a nice Maduro. Yeah. It's a great size.
Nice, flavorful cigar.
Yeah. So I guess since we're on that note, I'd like to ask you a couple more things. So what's your thing? Mild, medium, full? Are you like me? Are you all across the spectrum?
I'm all across the spectrum. One day I could be smoking, something that'll knock me out, and then the next day I'll say, you know what, let me take it easy, smoke something mild.
Yeah, and that's what I love because it's very important. I know guys that are like, Ashton. Are you smoking a Monte Cristo like an original? Like, that's too light. Davidoff? Why would I waste my money? Like super serious guys that. No, but it's a different thing. Like, have you ever had like an Eastern Standard or Davidoff in the morning with a coffee? It's heavenly.
It's great.
You know what I mean?
Eastern Standard actually tastes better aged. I don't like them like when they're fresh too much.
1 year.
Put a couple of years on them. They're good.
Amazing. Amazing. That's you hit it right in the head. And everybody. Like a lot of people that know me know how much I love the Eastern Standard aged.
Yeah.
It really is.
Which one?
The Cakewalk.
Oh.
That Figurado is amazing. They just came out. Did you know they just came out with the new Eastern Standard? It has a really ridiculous...
The gold band?
No. Wait, maybe. It has a really ridiculous name, like Far Eastern Standard or something.
Yeah, I think I heard of that. I haven't tried it.
It's made with collaboration with somebody. I don't remember who it was.
He's always collaborating with somebody.
Caldwell loves doing that. But it works sometimes.
AJ Fernandez, Matt Booth. They're always getting together.
That was great.
That was good. I have one, actually.
They're amazing.
I'm thinking about smoking it.
What are you talking about? You never
the
had?
Tea.
Have you never had it?
I've had it.
Okay.
There's a new one though. They
the Habano.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know about the Habano. All I'll say is the Connecticut was trash. It wasn't trash, but what it was it wasn't the original.
Reviews, though.
I don't give a shit. The original.
You don't read reviews. That's
the
right.
Original. Listen, the original was just.
You also hate Lost City.
Oh yeah, but I mean, because it's like
how can you hate Opus X Lost City?
All right, let me ask you this.
Yeah,
do you know what makes it? Do you know why?
Andy Garcia.
But what's the gimmick?
The movie, right?
No. It's an apple some bullshit. Apple brandy casks. The tobacco's aged.
Everybody.
Yeah, but it's both. Listen.
Some do whiskey, some do cognac.
I'll tell you this.
You know what? Every blender has his own shtick, where they'll do something a little different from the next guy, just so their cigar tastes, just a tiny bit different.
Well, and this is my beef with Gurkha as well. I find that when you're doing a lot of barrel aging is fine. When you're doing barrel aging that from used casks, I feel like you're just trying to take shitty tobacco and hide the fact that it's shitty.
Well, doesn't he use Louis the 13th?
No.
That's for His Majesty's Reserve. He uses Louis the 13th. That's what I hear.
Or for the royal courtesan. That's Gurkha's $1 million cigar.
Oh yeah.
But
that's in diamonds and gold.
Yeah.
And all that
you know what?
stuff.
I've talked about that on City World Radio before. Do you know what they use? They use Remy Martin Louis the 13th Black Pearl, which goes for $165 per bottle, $165,000 per bottle.
That's it. We should be drinking that right now.
That's it. Yeah.
Is it true that the owner of Gurkha doesn't smoke cigars? Did you hear that? I heard this guy. He owns a cigar company. He doesn't smoke cigars.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not unheard of, to be honest. Like John Drew doesn't smoke anymore.
Anymore, really? Oh yeah. You know what I've noticed?
Fidel Castro, like we just talked about this. Fidel
now
Castro
you're just breaking my heart,
stopped smoking in the late '80s.
That's crazy.
Because you know what? I get it. Like so just you lose the taste for it. Like I used to love cream soda. Okay. I don't drink any cream soda anymore.
I mean, do you own a cream soda company?
No, fair enough. But I mean, you know what I find? It takes way more than just like loving cigars to run a good company. Like, because I know.
All right, company marketing, and management, that's one thing. But if you're going to present a cigar and say, this is the best cigar in the world, don't you think you should smoke it, at least try and know for yourself? If you're going to say this is the best, especially if you're charging $1 million.
Yeah.
And if you're not charging $1 million, even if you're charging $750 for a cigar, you're going to tell me this cigar is worth $750, you haven't even tried it.
Yeah. I mean, okay, fair enough. But again, the thing is that where I want to come from is the talent, right? If you know how to manage talent, I think you're good, right? Because if you can get somebody that knows what they're doing,
then that should be the face, no?
I don't know.
But I understand what you're saying, right? And Jonathan Drew not smoking cigars, I've actually noticed that. But he's also not running Drew Estate anymore. Didn't he sold it?
But yeah, he's almost like the face now. So he's still the face, though.
He claims to be the creative behind it, right? He's an artist now, and he's the creative director more than anything now. He's not going to tell you that this is the best cigar.
But at the same time, though, John Drew is like the reason that I started rolling my own cigars. I love his story. He's really like an underdog story when it comes to it. Do you know about this shit?
I've heard that he had a shop over here, not too far from the studio. Yeah, World Trade. And that's how he started.
That shit got closed down. They used to sell complete trash, and then he went to Nicaragua himself.
They don't sell complete trash now.
Well, what do you? I don't know.
No, it's not bad. I like Drew
as
Estate.
far as like so when I was in retail, right? You would get a kind of like a feel for what people like, and most people tend to be fairly okay with Drew Estate. Like,
I like Drew Estate. No, I was.
Listen, even when
totally a joke.
If I get trashed, like if I don't drink much, I'm more of a smoker. But if I do drink, and I get trashed, I could smoke one of those acids, no problem.
I've never had an acid, but I did have a Liga 10th anniversary not too long ago, and it's one of the best cigars I've ever had.
The one with the black band.
The one that's impossible to get. It's not expensive. They just don't release them.
Because there's two impossible ones.
There's
right now.
All right, so it's the Liga
the 10th
anniversary
with the black band.
It's like black and like
gray.
That's it.
Okay, because there's another one that's even more impossible to get.
Which one
is
that?
The H99.
Yes, I heard of that. That is true. Yeah,
the
that's
guys
a different one.
Broke my heart with that shit because they were like hyping it up so much.
Wait, but did they release them?
Yeah. It's okay. So here's the crazy thing about the H99. Apparently there was they fucked up somewhere. So what happened is they ended up.
They put the carriage before the horse.
Yeah. So they overhyped it. They said we're gonna pump out this amount of cigars. It was like a different wrappers, like Corojo, Connecticut Corojo wrapper.
And the H99 also stands for some sort of
tobacco. I don't know. But I don't know about that. So I'm only telling you what I know.
All right.
Because I don't want to like misinform. You know what I'm saying? But so they had this Connecticut Corojo that they weren't able to like make enough of it, or it wasn't to the quality.
Okay.
So what they did is they did a store raffle. So you needed to spend a certain amount of money with Drew Estate per year. I think it was like 25 G's or something, and then they would put you in this raffle.
Wow.
And they only gave out 300 boxes.
So
all across the United
they're all
States.
gone, and they'll never be again,
there's another
right?
there's another raffle like coming up soon, but it's still.
Oh, so did they figure out how to grow this tobacco leaf?
No. I mean, like, listen, I worked in Cigar Inn, which was Casa de Monte Cristo, which is Monte Cristo, which is Altadis, which is, you know what I mean? Like,
that's the biggest name in tobacco. It doesn't get any bigger.
I think so.
They own a piece of Habanos.
Yeah, they own 50%.
Yeah,
or 49, whatever.
So it doesn't get any bigger than that.
And then hey, can we get some H99s in the goddamn store? No,
absolutely not.
No, we can't because it's a raffle. It's ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Again, I think Drew Estate did a lot for the industry as far as like the quality of cigars has gone up across the board because they really bought their A game when it comes to Liga Privada. So you got to admit, those are beautiful.
Why it's not? I mean, you think Drew Estate was the catalyst for that? You think Drew Estate is the one that made all the other brands get their act together?
Well, no. Well, so here's what I think. I think that it was almost like a grandfather's game. I don't know if that makes any sense. Like all the companies that were like new were kind of moving to the wayside.
Okay.
But the Monte Cristos, the Romeos, the big dudes
they
have
were
been there for a while.
Before.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They gotten better because
everybody
because Drew Estate has raised the level. You know
so we have Drew Estate to thank for all the options that we have today. Because if you go back, let's say to the 90s, you really didn't have much to choose from. It was all crap.
Fuck the 90s. Let's go back to the 1900s. Let me tell you a little story real quick. This is really cool.
All right, go.
So, Industrial Revolution, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So, this is when they started creating not only like, using coal and steam engines and all that shit. They would also create conveyor belts. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
they would industrialize the process. So they pretty much
the
started
assembly line.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that also applied to cigars. And when they would start pumping out these cigars in places like Nicaragua, the DR, the United States, Florida, Cuba too, but not in the way that I'm talking about. What they would do is they would start using short filler, and they would start using machines to make the cigars. So what you would get is you would get perfect cigars,
perfectly rolled.
Yeah. That looked really nice, but the tobacco was chopped up trash, and it was cheap because they could pump them out like crazy, right? So Cuba had this issue, what the fuck they were gonna do. Either they would have to start industrializing their process as well, which would have completely
destroyed
everything that we love about Cubans today would have been gone, or they could have just lost out on the cigar. Like they would have to drop the cigar industry completely.
Wow.
So what they ended up doing is that's when the molds were invented. So the Cubans instead, what they did is they made molds, right? Because before that, cigars were like a bit lumpy, and nobody really gave a shit.
Because they were 100% hand rolled, right?
No machine. Yeah. So they created the molds, and they started putting their cigars in molds, which made them look better.
And they're all uniform. They all look the same.
Yeah. They pulled better, and they looked beautiful, and they were long filler, and the tobacco was better. And then Cuba got to the top of the fucking game.
Nice.
Because of that. Because instead of giving up their cultural identity and giving into, let's say, the imperialistic industrial complex.
Joining the industrial revolution.
Exactly. They decided to keep that but still produce a better product. And because of that is the reason that we're not smoking short filler bullshit all the time now. That's the reason we don't.
Thank you, Cuba.
Yes, no, seriously. If it wasn't for Cuba, we'd all be smoking Dutch Masters all the time. That would probably be the only thing available because nobody would even go through the process. Imagine if Cuba, right? Because then once Cuba started producing these beautiful, wonderful cigars, and they became the highest standard of cigar possible in the world. Everybody copied, and
somebody has to set a standard.
And the reverberations that have been felt since this time, right, are still being felt now. That's why Cubans are the top standard to some people.
That's the holy grail, right?
Yeah. I mean, even though obviously you can argue that all fucking day, I think the Cuban quality is. What do
you think will happen when the embargo is lifted and it's a level playing field? You got Nicaragua, Dominican, Honduras, Cuba, and whoever else grows and produces tobacco. What happens at that point?
It's going to be a complete shit show.
In what sense?
In every sense. I'll tell you right now. So number one. Okay, Monte Cristo, Dominican Monte Cristo, the U.S. Monte Cristo, and the Cuban Monte Cristo. The only reason that these two entities are allowed to exist is because of the embargo.
Of course.
The Cuba cannot press charges on.
There's lawsuits all day long, back and forth. It's still going on today, 60 years later.
But none of it's going anywhere at all because of all these the embargoes and all that.
Yeah.
So the first thing that's going to happen is once this embargo is lifted, there's going to be huge lawsuits against Altadis and against Imperial for all that shit. Okay, now there's probably going to be a really easy fix. It's probably going to be a Monte Cristo Havana, Monte Cristo USA, or some shit like that.
Yeah, that's easy to fix. You just put a little band that says Cuba, Dominican, Nicaraguan.
But it's also going to work kind of the other way because now Dominican cigars are going to be flooding the European and Asian markets as well.
What's wrong with that?
Well, nothing's wrong with that. Here's where the problem comes in. The U.S. has 2 times bigger market than the rest of the world combined
for cigar purchases.
For cigars purchases, yes. Yeah, we capitalism, baby. That's how we go.
I love it.
Yeah, so what ends up happening is once America starts flooding in with Cuban cigars,
are we going to hurt the Dominican economy?
No, we're going to hurt the Cubans. The Cuban cigars are all going to go down the drain. So
quality?
Yeah, cigar smoking has gotten down since the mid '90s.
Of course.
Till now, when it comes to Cubans,
it's a war waged on tobacco.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm talking about just Cubans in general have gone down. If you ask anybody, they'll tell you
the amount that's being sold has gone down.
No. They've been selling way more. The quality has gone down because the popularity has gone up.
Oh, that makes sense.
Listen, picture this: 1999. Okay, fuck that. 1995.
Okay.
Right, me and you were sitting around.
That's the year Opus X came out.
Right now, right, me and you both order Cubans.
Okay.
Right, me and you both order Cubans.
I'll get
from
a Cohiba.
Switzerland. Right. All right.
We're in 1995 right now.
No, 2019. 1995. What are we gonna do?
There's not much.
We're gonna I Havanas. We're gonna.
No, we're not going to I Havanas.
I'm gonna send him in Morse code. Bring me some Cubans.
No, we're gonna go to the guy downstairs around the corner. He knows a guy that knows a guy that knows a guy, and
So
there's a good chance we might get a fake one.
Yeah,
but
so
we might get a
times are
real one,
changing,
too.
right? It's even though Cubans are still illegal in the U.S. to bring in, not to smoke, to bring in.
No, it's legal to bring them in. It's illegal to sell them and buy them, but it's perfectly legal to bring. Like if you were to go on vacation and you brought back, a bunch of boxes of Cuban cigars, that's perfectly legal as long as you're going to smoke them yourself.
I'm talking about getting them shipped in. I don't think that's allowed.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah,
so
but because you're purchasing.
But they don't give a shit. Like honestly, nobody really even gives a shit.
I don't know. I can't speak on that because I don't know enough about it.
Well, I can. I order Cubans all the time from overseas, and I haven't had a single shipment lost.
But I've seen people have problems.
Yeah.
I've seen people got empty boxes because customs took the cigars out.
But here's the thing. So at least from where I get mines from, and I know that, and you are aware of them as well.
I'm very aware.
They have a policy. If a box is gone,
they'll
for
replace
a month,
it, right?
1 month, within 1 month. Yeah, and I've never had an issue. So
no, that's great.
But
Shout out to I Havanas.
I
by the
Havanas
way.
is the fucking best
They're
sponsor of the
awesome.
show.
They're awesome.
And so, where was I?
You were saying that we took a time machine.
Okay.
We went back to 1995.
Yeah. So again, we weren't allowed to get Cubans.
It
right
was
now,
very, very difficult.
Okay, so that's why, right? The quality has gone down because supply and demand, right?
Right.
It's one island producing all the tobacco. So let's say you're producing all these cigars. Let's say in 10, 15 to 20 years, the demand has tripled.
Yeah.
What's going to end up happening? Your output is going to at least try to triple, right? Because you want to make more money. People want the shit. You want to sell the shit. What does that also lead to? That leads to cutting corners. That leads to
they got to speed up.
Yeah. We're not going to age it.
They
got
to grow tobacco faster.
So
and
back
more.
in the day, they would age cigars for 2 years, 3 years, and not have to call it a reserve. Now they slap a fucking sticker on it, reserve.
To let you know.
And then you're paying $60 for that
That's
shit.
true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and now that's happening now. Can you imagine?
When the embargo was
my
lifted?
God, do I think? Listen, can I tell you something? This embargo is the best thing that's ever fucking happened to me. And you too. Trust me, the only reason we're allowed to smoke really good Cubans as Americans is because
of the embargo.
The embargo. And Canadians who have legal Cubans, I feel bad for them the worst.
They're expensive as hell.
Yeah, because they're allowed to, they can go to this local shop and buy any delicious ass Cuban that they want, but they're going to be paying like quadruple what I would pay.
Well, what's the reason for that?
Socialism. And I'm a socialist. No, I'm a socialist. Listen, I think, everyone should have health care and all that jazz, but I don't think you should be paying like $40, $50 for a Monte number 2.
As Americans here, we pay a premium as it is for Cuban cigars, but Canadians pay even more than we do, and it's illegal over here.
No, that's what I'm telling you. We don't pay any premium at all.
No, it's more expensive here than it is, say, like where it's legal, like Switzerland.
Well, where do you have a how do you compare Cubans, the price of Cubans in the U.S.? There's no market for it. It's all black market.
Well, all right. So
when
we order online, I'm saying when we order Cubans online, let's say, for example, from I Havanas and whoever sells them, they mark it up because they'll sell it cheaper in Switzerland. They're coming from Switzerland.
Really
but if you were in Switzerland, you would get it cheaper there.
No, of course. There's got to be some markup.
The premium I'm talking about, is the markup between Switzerland and coming to the U.S. But Canadians pay even more than we do, which is crazy.
Yeah. Well,
and they don't have to pass Switzerland and pay $200 and pass go and all that stuff.
Well, that's because again, I'm not going to speak for you, but the source that I get from, we don't pay any import tax at all.
I'm sure the company does, but...
Well, did you ever look at so when we get the boxes in, it says on the box that it's cigars, but it only says, let's say you order $300 worth, it says it's $30 worth of cigars.
I never paid attention.
Yeah, I did. So that's what they do.
Man, I'm just happy that the cigars are in there when I open the box, because I hear these crazy stories, how people open up their boxes and they're empty, because customs emptied it out.
I don't really have that much. I think I Havanas is fucking mint. They're great. The Brian from My Havanas, the guy that I always email if I have any issues, is always responds same day. You know what I mean? They're awesome. Like if something is like taking a little bit long,
they're responsive actually. Yeah, I've noticed that.
Awesome.
I order from My Havanas all the time.
Yeah, and their fucking deals are okay. You know what?
The prices are incredible, unbeatable.
And these guys need to sponsor the shit out of us.
Yeah, man. My Havanas, you got to sponsor this show, man. You know who else I would like to shout out?
Who?
Humidors Direct. Have you ever tried them?
Oh, so they sell
humidors.
Humidors. Yeah. I personally haven't because I get weird humidors, and plus, remember, I worked in retail. So
okay. All right.
When I would get my humidors, it would usually be from like where I was working, employee discount.
So I didn't work in retail, so I order my humidors from Humidors Direct, and I have to order every so often because I'm an idiot when it comes to cigars, and I buy way too many, and I always end up needing more humidors. I go to Humidors Direct; they got the best stuff there, man. They're really good.
I have 8 humidors. You're preaching to the choir, bro. I get it. Everybody,
so why don't you just build yourself a walk-in humidor?
I was, I have the space too. I could do it, but I know that was a joke, and I'm taking it way too seriously. But because I've thought about it, it would be nice. At least maybe. Sometimes I thought about just buying.
Man, go to Home Depot, get some cedar wood.
One of those shelves. You know what I mean? Like
I've been thinking about it too. Actually,
yeah,
that's why I mention it, because I'm actually thinking of doing it for myself instead of buying from Humidors Direct. They're great and all, but I'd like to.
We
just
both have the
humidor.
same disease. I
think all of us cigar enthusiasts all have the same disease. We buy a lot more cigars than we can smoke.
Well,
and we also buy cigars to age, to collect, to look at. Yeah. How many cigars do you have aging? A couple thousand, I'm sure.
Well, I have maybe like 150 that I smoke.
And the rest you're aging.
So
I have
the
same
touching,
thing. I have the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, okay. So you know what? On that note, let's talk about something interesting. What when your humidor, would you say is your magnum opus? What would you chop off a finger to have another one of, or whatever? What's your best?
You know what? That's
what's
a
your
good
greatest? What's your greatest treasure?
I really want.
No. What do you have?
Oh, what do I have?
Yeah, we'll get to what you want after.
I have a few cigars that I have.
Top 3.
Top 3. All right, so Opus X20 would fall into the top 3. Opus X 20 years, the blue with the blue labels. I love those.
But you would say that's the rarest cigar you have?
Oh, rarest. I thought like my pride and joy.
No. What's your what? Okay, so let's say I come over to your crib and you want to show me you want to show off.
I want to impress you, right?
What would you show me?
I would show you a 1980s Monte Cristo number 1.
Oh.
I would show you.
I saw that picture. I remember you posted it, right?
I don't think I posted the
you
Monte
sure?
Cristo. I was about to say the cigar that I posted. I have a La Corona from the late 50s. This is before Castro, before the embargo. It's a cigar that it's a Corona shape. It's called La Corona.
I don't know what the fuck that is. So
it's a pre-embargo
yeah.
Cuban cigar.
Awesome.
And I have a Ramon Alonis pre-embargo, also from around the same time period. A Ramon Alonis, also Corona shaped Cuban cigar.
How'd you come across him?
I got him from a guy in Switzerland. He's a real deal cigar collector. He has like the craziest pre-embargo, pre-Fidel Castro. The guy has a mint collection. Like I walk into his place, like I gotta wipe the drool from my chin. It's unbelievable. And he's given me 3 pre-embargo cigars. I only have those 2 left. One I smoked. I posted it on Instagram. I actually filmed smoking it because it was unbelievable.
I get it.
Have you ever smoked a pre-embargo?
So I actually have 7 of them.
Oh, okay. So you know what I'm talking about.
I have 14.
All right. So you know. Have you smoked them though?
No.
I know you like to collect.
No.
So try one.
I have from 1962.
All right, the year before.
I have 7 Partagas. You know where I got those from? This is what always gets me excited. I got those from the director or the assistant director of appraisals at Sotheby's auction house.
Oh my God, that's
He's a
awesome.
member. He's a member at my store.
Oh wow!
So we would always trade Cubans, and then one day he's like, you know what? I
got something for you.
I had 4 boxes of these, and I'm getting tired of them. Here you go. I know you collect. And he just hands them to me, and I
dude, that's priceless.
Yeah. So and that's what's so beautiful about it. Like the dude is legit.
Yeah.
Like shout out to Philip
Sotheby's.
Jallet at Sotheby's over there on 74th. Like my man is the best.
Shout out.
Yeah. He's a member at our 53rd Street location.
Nice.
Like I said, our.
So then So then I would impress you if I would show you these cigars.
And then I have these other 5 cigars that are all from the early 1900s, but those are unsmokable.
Yeah, you can't smoke
those. They're bricks. They're pretty much solid.
Yeah,
I tried to
humidify
humidify them.
that.
There's really seems like no point. Nothing's happening. And plus, they're 2 of them are wrapped in foil. One of them is wrapped in some sort of wax paper.
Yeah.
And
that's just for looks. That's for a museum.
No, but I just don't know what. Yeah, I don't know what that's made out of. That could be fucking lead. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah. You don't want to smoke that. But the pre-embargoes you could smoke if. The ones that I have, I know for a fact were kept in great condition because the guy I got them from, Alan from Cigar Must in Switzerland. The guy's a beast when it comes to pre-embargo
Cigar Must.
Cigar Must. M-T. M-U-S-T. Cigar Must. He sells pre-embargoes to like all the high-end restaurants. So like if you're ever feeling like you want to put on a tuxedo and be special and you go to one of these places and they sell you a pre-embargo cigar for like $500, they get it from Alan. You know, that's their source, and I got it directly from the source.
So that's the guy.
He gave it to me as a gift. I didn't even buy it, just like you got it as a gift,
And
but I
you
would
said
have bought it.
Switzerland, right?
Yeah, he's in Lugano, Switzerland. He's the man. He actually just had a baby recently, so
Mazel
congrats
tov.
to him. I doubt he's listening.
Yeah,
right now,
but who cares?
he's great though. I get a lot of stuff from him. He hooks me up with my regional editions too. Those are cool. He gets me some really cool regional editions.
So real quick, just want to explain to anybody who's listening. A regional edition is so what Habanos likes to do is they put out these cigars and they make them specifically for certain regions. Now, personally, like they have in España, they have a Libano, they have a
yeah, they'll
UAE,
have Hong Kong,
Mexico, Hong Kong,
Spain, Italy, Caribbean,
Russia. They even have a USA edition.
They have Russia, yes, that's right.
Russia.
Hermitage, Ramon Alona's Hermitage, the Russian.
Yeah, but I find it to be a little bullshit because I feel like you can get them anywhere. Like, you know what I mean?
It's marketing, of course.
Yeah,
However, though, that Vitola is only made for that regional edition. So you can't. So let's say the Ramon Alona's Hermitage, right? The Russian regional edition.
Yeah.
That size, that shape, you can only get it in that cigar.
In the Casa de Habanos in Russia.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're not talking about online. I mean, I'm talking about online. Like, you can get any regional.
I'm sure there are people that resell.
But what
it,
you're
just
saying is
the size and shape. You're only going to get that particular cigar. Ramon Alonis doesn't make that size and shape.
So you're telling me that I'm not going to find like a Grand Bretagne or a Suzia in Russia?
No, you could, because they all trade with each
So
other.
it is okay. So it's just a bit.
So Suzia, you might want to clear that for your audience also. That's Swiss regional edition.
Yeah.
They write on the band. So there's a second band under the original band. It'll say Suiza, Suiza. That means it's a regional edition for Switzerland.
Yeah,
and it's supposed to be sold in Switzerland only. But all these La Casa del Habanos, they'll trade with each other.
Yeah.
So like if let's say you have a store in London, right? You don't get the Swiss or the Russian regional edition. So you'll call me. Let's say I have a store in Russia. You're in London. You'll call me and say, hey, I'll trade you. I'll give you my London or my it's called Great Britain special regional edition, and I'll give you my Russian or Switzerland, whatever I have, and they all trade with each other. That's why you can get a Swiss regional edition in London and the Great Britain.
And they're usually like they're usually like unique shapes. Like exactly. Figurados or Salomone.
No, not always Figurado. The Grand Quixote, the Sancho Panza Grand Quixote is a Figurado, but they're not all Figurado. So basically, the shape. It's different, so that particular brand doesn't have that shape, right? Maybe a different Habanos brand has that shape, but this particular one doesn't have it.
I got you. Yeah,
but they're great cigars, and you know what's great about them? They're all pretty much new and fresh, so you have to age them on your own. I mean, listen, there are places that age them for you. Like, for example, when I was in Switzerland, I bought a Bolivar 681. It's from 2011, right? It's the regional edition for Bulgaria. I don't think they never made one before, and they probably haven't made one since. But I got it. It's from 2011, so right now it's aged 8 years. I know that Alan, he's a beast. He aged it. I know they're in perfect condition. So that's the kind of places, obviously, you want to buy from. And that's actually a cool box that I got because Bulgaria.
You got a whole box?
I got a box. I had to.
That's great. See, that's the thing. I don't have I can't afford that shit, right? So what I do is I try to get my hands on like one or two of each of them, and I just age the shit out of them, and I just look at them. It's like,
oh man,
I just
so nice
open
to
up.
look at.
Look, you're so beautiful.
And
you're so beautiful, Diplomatico Canada edition. You're so beautiful.
I don't have that.
Bolivar Grand Bretagne edition, like in España's.
Yeah, but you gotta make up an excuse why you're looking in the humidor. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna reorganize them.
Maintenance.
Yeah, maintenance. Exactly. Yeah.
That's the way I roll. Because it's like if I could throw 600 on a box, I would be. This would be a whole different story.
Dude,
and
trust me, there's plenty of cigars out there that I don't have that I wish I did.
No. I know. I'm just saying, like, my collection is so all my boxes. I do have boxes full of Cubans that I'm aging for 5 years, but those are all like.
So when are you going to smoke them? When's the right time to smoke them?
Well, that's what I love about the Cubans. They always have the date on the box, and it's you can't. I mean, I feel like the boxes are open, so it's not 100% like you can't take it for the face value, I guess.
Why is that?
Well, because, I mean, who's to say that they don't swap them out? Like, for instance, one time I ordered...
Yeah, but as long as it's the right cigar, and you personally yourself have been aging them for 5 years.
Yeah.
For the last 5 years, they've been kept in ideal conditions. Why not?
What I'm saying is this. So we spoke about a Havanas. One time my boy, who also orders from my Havanas, shout out to Steve,
Shout out Steve.
He got a box of double Edmundos from 2015.
Double Edmundo. Oh, Monte Cristo double Edmundos from 2015.
The box said November 2015. So
what's the problem?
Well, no, I'm not saying there's a problem. What I'm saying is is there, really?
Oh, did he get them aged already?
Yeah,
and were they aged in the right condition?
What I'm saying is are you telling me that I Have Honest was holding onto a box?
No, they bought
of double Edmundos for 4 years and then decided to sell them for the regular double Edmundo price, 4-year-old aged. That's what I'm saying. They were from the box said 2015.
Yeah, I understand. And that happens. That actually happens more often than you would think.
So now, whenever I order from my Havanas, I'm always like, oh, please be a 2015. Please be a 2015.
There are some websites where they'll tell you beforehand the date on the box.
Like EGM.
Okay, and
those guys spend. Yeah. Those guys, they're expensive cigars, but if you I Have Honest is good for regular stuff. Yeah. If you want to get
the regular production,
if you want to get
stuff.
The rare shit, EGM is.
I've bought from EGM. I actually bought a Bahike, and I bought from them a Cohiba 8+8 Siglo 4. Do you know what that is? It's a year of the dog.
I know what Siglo 4 is, but what?
So
the
it's
hell
a
is
Siglo 4, and it's made for the year of
the Zodiac.
Yeah. It's the Zodiac. Yes, that's it. So it comes in a nice black lacquered box,
crazy.
Different from the regular one. But I think they do it themselves in Spain.
They did a Cohiba one last year, the Year of the Pig, and I think that was $800 for each cigar.
Yes. Oh, $800 a cigar? No. The one I got was $800 for the box, or maybe
10?
even 600. 16. 8+8 they call it for some reason.
Wait. No,
because
I'm
it's
talking
good
about
luck
the
in
Cohibas.
Asia.
The last year's Cohibas.
Cohiba. I did a Siglo 4.
Oh,
I
that
got
was
a
also
Siglo.
Cohiba,
That's a
that's
year.
right.
I think it was either Year of the Dog or Year of the Pig. I got to take a look. I'm pretty sure it's dog.
It was because Year of the Pig I think was last.
No, we're in the Year of the Pig right now. Next year is rat. Did you know that? How are they going to sell cigars with rats on them?
See, you sound like these people I used to know back in the day. Dirty Rat, Flying Pig.
That's pig. Pig is okay.
Yeah, but
rat.
Dirty Rat?
I've never smoked a Dirty Rat.
Because of the name?
There's
delicious.
also Velvet Rat.
Velvet Rat?
But I hear those are actually great cigars
Delicious.
from what I hear.
Well, here's my argument. My argument is I can call a cigar a POS.
Okay.
Piece of shit.
Okay.
And I swear if it's delicious, you're going to see motherfuckers walking around like, yo, you tried that piece of shit there?
Did you smoke the piece of shit?
Are you kidding me? No, bullshit. Dude, if I don't give a shit what it's called. If it's delicious, I'll smoke it. And
Look,
I'll tell
I've
other
heard
people
good
to
things
smoke
about
it.
Dirty Rat.
Yeah.
And Drew Estate obviously has done a great job with them. But I'm talking about for the masses, not just Drew Estate fans. For the masses, everybody in the world, are they going to be okay with smoking a Year of the Rat or buying a Year of the Rat cigar?
Well, okay. Well, number one, right? About 80%.
When you think rat, you think bad.
But listen. About 80 to 90% of high-end Cubans go to Asia anyway.
Okay, yeah.
So
that's
in
true.
Asia, it's going to be like, oh, Year of the Rat. It's Year of the Rat. I'm going to smoke a Year. They don't give a shit, because this is their thing.
You have a point.
It's
That is true.
It's pandering to the guys that buy most of it. So
yeah.
Who cares? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, it's normal.
For you, I get it. Right here in America, like Year of the Rat, but also, cigar smokers are.
I did find it strange that people are bragging about smoking a cigar called Dirty Rat, and I'm like, really?
But
that's okay?
It's good. Yeah, I mean, it's a delicious cigar.
That's what I hear. Everybody says it's delicious.
So it doesn't. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter, right? I think it's almost the irony of it that it's called a Dirty Rat. Honestly, he has a cigar called the Nasty.
The Nasty.
Yeah, and now he has the Nasty Fritas.
Yeah, Nasty Fritas, that's the new
Yeah,
one.
you know what I mean? And people smoke the shit out of them because...
Yeah, I mean, you have a point. You're right. And they
did
well with those cigars.
He called his flavored cigars acid.
That's okay,
you know what I mean?
though.
Well, is it? Because at first, when you tell people acid, they're like, yo, you trying to sell me drugs, boy?
No,
Like,
yeah. Well, that's a good thing.
No, but it has certain connotations, you know what I mean? If you're talking about, right, if you're talking about just generally the cigar, the spectrum of all the people that smoke cigars, the majority of cigar smokers, I think, don't do acid. You know what I mean?
You know what? I've noticed a lot of them don't even like marijuana.
Yeah, they don't do drugs. They're not drug users.
That's crazy.
No, I get it. There's a new...
No, but they actually frown upon it, and they'll say, no, that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do drugs. You shouldn't do drugs either.
But at the same time, though, I got to tell you, there's I know
my kids aren't listening.
I know a lot of older cigar smokers that are just, they like to party. Seriously.
I mean, I don't blame them.
They exist.
I thought this goes one in one. Is when you smoke a cigar, what do you want to do? You want to relax. Mm-hmm. You want to put your feet up. You want to chill. And I'm not surprised at all that people smoke a cigar when they're having a good time.
Well, I mean, for instance, like I said on my YouTube channel, I have about 95 reviews.
I too have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, we're gonna plug
I'm
that.
just kidding.
We're gonna plug that very soon. Don't worry. But not a single review am I sober. I'm high as fucking every single one.
I think you're funny as hell.
Yeah,
when
well, that's
when you're
the
high.
thing is, it's all the barriers are down. Right?
By the way, I gotta say I'm a fan of yours too.
Thank you.
I'm
No,
not just a guest.
It goes both ways. It goes both ways. My
Thank you,
friend.
appreciate it.
So, and I feel like I'm more honest, honestly, and I don't think about it too much. So
Yeah,
it's just
of
whatever
course.
comes out,
Yeah,
you know.
man.
Because if you think about it too much, and then you start sounding like halfway like nuts and oats with a bit of, some gasoline, or whatever.
And some barnyard.
So listen,
Notes of
we have
espresso.
a little bit of time left. I want to close up on this.
All right, let's
Now
do it.
this is something that I always considered myself like quite a smart ass when it
Okay.
comes to cigars. But you the other day I learned something from you that blew my mind. I want you to kind of inform our
Yeah,
listeners
man, let's do
about
it.
the black light.
I brought it with me, actually. Too bad we can't show it
But
to people that are listening, but it's very simple.
Explain and then direct them to where they can check out your video.
All right, so on YouTube, I did a video, right, of how you can be absolutely sure that your Cuban cigar is real, right? So the only thing that it really works with the actual cigars themselves are actually Cohiba, Monte Cristo, and any Reserva or Gran Reserva, new ones. These are the new bands that you could test. The older bands, they don't have any of the hidden codes. However, every Habanos box since I believe it's 2011 has a hidden crown in it. So if you put the black light over the box, right, you know where the tax stamp is, that sticker with the barcode? So it's not just the barcode that you could check, which you should. You should absolutely check the authenticity code. And that's exactly what it's called on the Habanos.com website. It's called the authenticity code. And on there are numbers. You put those numbers into the website. The website tells you if the numbers match the cigars that are supposed to be in there. In addition to that, you have to get a UV light. It's called a 365 nanometer UV light. Don't get a 395 because it will not work. 365 nanometer UV light. There's a link for it under my video on YouTube. Just watch the video. You'll see exactly how I do it. I'm showing Artie right now. Do you see on the Reserva band, there's hidden Taino heads on the Reserva band, and on the actual Cohiba band, there's numbers that are hidden, and you can only see them when you're pointing the UV light at them. Now, on the Monte Cristo, if you look on the back of the Monte Cristo, if you point the UV light at the back of the Monte Cristos, you'll have the letters M and C, Monte Cristo. And that's, of course, on the newer bands also. I think within the last 5 years, all the bands, they have that hidden MC on there. The Cohiba has the hidden numbers, and the Reserva and Gran Reserva have the hidden Taino heads that you can only see with the black light. You were going to say something.
Yeah, the boxes. So on the
on the tax stamp.
All of them?
From 2011 or 12.
Even the punches.
Every single
Vargas? Okay.
every single
That's
Cuban
what I'm
cigar, every single tax stamp, you're supposed to see a crown. I'm sorry, not a crown. It's a crest. And there's a picture of the crest on the tax stamp itself.
Yeah.
And then when you wave the black light on it, you'll see a hidden one. You can't miss it.
Okay,
as
so
long as you wave the black light.
Let me ask you this: does that also need to be? What'd you say? 365?
Yes, that has to be 365
tax stamp,
nanometers.
Even
for the tax stamp. Yeah,
Interesting.
because with the 395, I'm not exactly sure what happens, but the way somebody explained it to me, it doesn't work out too well.
So it doesn't.
Yes, exactly.
it's
That's
different
exactly what
wavelength.
it is.
Yeah,
It's
I
different
understand.
wavelengths.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So listen, we're about to round up here. Just really quickly, I want to let you guys know that you guys can catch me every Monday, 5 p.m. here on City World Radio. Okay, we got my show Smoke Signals. We're going to be doing it every week. Gonna have different guests. You gonna come back on?
Absolutely,
Thank
man.
you so much, man.
If you'll have me.
Of course. It was a great talk. And then also you guys can catch me at Ashhole NYC. That's ASHHOLE NYC. That's Instagram and YouTube. I'm going to be doing a lot of really cool YouTube stuff soon. I'm going to be putting my reviews up there too, and you can catch my reviews and a bunch of other content on my Instagram. Post, why don't you tell people where they can find you at?
At I Post Alone is my Instagram. Each word is separated with an underscore, so it's at I_post_alone. And my link to my YouTube is on my Instagram, but in case you're not Instagram savvy, just go to YouTube, type in Post Alone. Most likely Post Malone will pop up, but if you put in Post Alone Cigars, you should see a few of my videos. But like I said, there's a link from my Instagram. Please give me a follow, subscribe. I'll be very grateful. And please, Artie, if you'll have me back here, I'd love to, man.
And yeah, you guys should definitely check it out because he does post a lot of really, really, really great content, a lot of informational
Thank you, I appreciate
stuff.
that.
Yeah, a lot of you know, if you're new to cigars and you kind of want to know, what's going on. He does keep it up to date. Me, I don't really focus on the newer shit as much as he does. So I like to, I'm kind of random.
Dude, you have great content.
But I'll post something from 5 years ago. If you want to know about the newest state of cigars, what's coming out, what's new, what's fresh, I Post Alone is definitely the place where you got to go, okay? And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we are done here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, man. Thank you so much for listening to Smoke Signals. Good night.
Good night.